Theater of the Mind Flip.
Welcome to Theater of the Mind Flayer, a D&D play podcast set in the homebrewed world of Jekyll. We've got 2 DMs for some reason, which can only mean twice the fun. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your time at
Theater of the Mind Flip.
Oh, welcome to Theater of the Mind Flayer. It is imperative that the cylinder and the large object remain unharmed.
Absolutely.
I'm Jacob Machin. We do not have a Caleb Dowdall this week, perhaps next week.
Because he got his cylinder stuck.
He got his cylinder stuck in an M&M's tube with, what is it, mashed banana?
Microwave
mashed banana. You're listening to the dulcet tones of Hercules Maze.
I would have done mashed potatoes personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, salty.
Yeah.
Michael Briganti, what would you have put in a tube with a very important cylinder? What's your
Don't
go-to?
think about it. We know you've done it.
What's your go-to?
Jeez.
Cheese?
Why would you do cheese?
I said cheese, okay.
Banana would be good. Mashed banana would be good.
Nacho cheese.
I'm going to go
Yeah,
honeydew
why?
melon.
Honeydew melon.
Oh.
Is that a little hard?
Not the rind.
No, even the melon itself.
melon
Not
itself?
a ripe one.
Okay.
No, that's bad melons.
the choice.
Yeah, getting real
Would you use
defensive.
nacho cheese or cheddar? Or Swiss?
Swiss, because it's already... Every guy was Swiss. This whole...
But why would you not use nacho cheese? Which liquid it?
Danielle, what would your choice be?
I don't think it works that way.
All right, what cylinder would you want? What do you want the cylinder to be made out of?
We'll take a moment from our sponsors.
Please don't sponsor this.
Thank you, Smarties.
All right.
Just a wipe to technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Cylinders are stuck.
Why
Wait,
two?
there was
What are you
beer?
doing
It's
two?
gonna spill,
Because it's lemon and it's cola. And I wanted to mix the two.
but not in a cup.
No, straight arm.
evidently.
Come on,
Cola.
coward. Do it, coward.
Odds are.
In front of all the tech.
Yep. Sorry, I'm very thirsty. Okay. I feel dangerous having these here now. I'll put these in a glass. Caleb, cut to a commercial. It's late. You know, we got one more episode to record, and then we're coming back here tomorrow morning to record
right.
more. We're going to pace ourselves. And what better way to pace ourselves than with a trivia treat?
I wasn't prepared to.
Cola. You know we record more than one.
Not usually.
God damn it.
All right, let me just quickly Google something.
Caleb,
Colin went
cut
out.
to another commercial.
What creature in D&D does not have stat blocks?
Actual gods.
Nailed it. So tasty. Next.
Actual gods?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just the avatars of the gods.
Indeed.
But Brendan Lee Mulligan and
Not affiliated with D&D.
Matt Mercer, as a part of the Downfall, they had buffs that turned people into gods, which was kind of interesting. So you take your character stats and then you add these ridiculous buffs.
Wasn't that like the level 20 to level 30? You just became a god at level 30 when they
Yeah.
did that.
So how do you fight a god in D&D if they don't have stat?
You fight the avatars of the gods.
Never truly fight a god.
You gotta
Because
stop
technically you
believing
can't
in them.
unseat a god. Only the Raven Queen has unseated a god.
And you, because you'd have to go on through the gate, wouldn't you?
Well, Exandria has the
Divine Gate.
divine gate. That's specifically in Exandria.
I know in Pathfinder, if you go to the light plane where a lot of the gods exist, you just get eviscerated by light.
Eviscerated by light.
Right.
Mortal eyes were not
Fun.
meant to see the true form of God.
True. This is very true. And that's been this week's episode of Trivia Treats.
Cola.
Philosophical treats.
All right. Well, apologies, everyone. Very snacky, very burpy. Too many fizzies, too many candy. We have a game we can play
Do we?
Called D&D.
called D&D. We'll get to that. But first, would you like to play
now.
French Toast again? Or would you like to do another game?
Either. Happy for both.
Other game.
What's the other game?
You need to pick either the other game.
Other game.
Other game.
Beautiful.
Mystery box.
Mystery
Always
box.
choose the mystery box.
Always choose the mystery box. Always swap after the first 3 doors.
Always, the
You
door
remove
problem.
one door. Always change what door you're picking.
Yeah.
Yeah, statistically, you're better to.
We're going to play cursory rhyme. The idea is that
Okay.
the last word in every line has to rhyme. So someone sets out on a meter
Does anything rhyme with rhyme?
time.
Crime.
Time the herb or time the...
Slime.
So if someone were to make a
Sublime.
meter, does anything rhyme with rhyme? The next thing has to have that sort of meter and finish with the rhyme. So it's like
God.
bad rap, but we're actually doing actual rhyming.
Okay.
But we go until we run out of things that have that same rhyme.
All right.
So time, crime, grime. And once someone fails, they fail.
Sublime.
You're right there, Hogan. Sublime. Yeah.
Urine.
Urine.
It's like,
That's a soft rhyme.
What's the most pressure I can put here?
So, who would like to kick us off? First, we'll think of a word we want to rhyme with.
Okay.
Can.
Can. Done. Can.
Okay.
Michael, start us off with can. A rhyme that has can.
Cracking open a cool can.
Sharing it with a new fan.
Slapping up an old man.
With my very heavy pan.
Feeling like I need a tan.
Saying hi to my friend Dan.
Getting over hating the man.
Getting over it.
Didn't you already say man?
I said
Was
man.
that-
Oh.
Haha.
New word?
New word.
I was gonna keep going, but that's okay.
Oh.
New word. What's a new word? Word.
Shadow.
Shadow. Okay,
Shadow.
beautiful. Shadow. Luke, kick us off.
I was very, 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 very afraid of a shadow.
Okay. See if we can make it.
He's very,
rhyme.
very, very afraid of a shadow.
Very, very, very afraid of a shadow. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. I was very, very, very afraid of a shadow. Oh fucking hell.
Something, Rachel Maddow.
Okay.
Anything rhyme with shadow?
I just did. Maddow. I'm going to do this on the down low.
Oh no.
Shadow down low.
No.
It's like a song.
Does it have to go all the way to A-O?
I believe it
or
has to be Addo.
Addo.
Yeah.
All the way to Addo.
There was a female deer called the doe.
Called Addo.
Addo.
Maddow.
Shadow doesn't work. New word. I fucked up.
Wait.
I got a legit one in there.
Like French toast or like a shadow?
French toast.
Are you gonna go with an Addo? If you can give us an Addo, you win the whole game.
Addo. Kind of, let's see.
Tallow is not Addo.
Tallow's not helping? I really don't like doing math though.
All
All
right.
right, new word. New word.
Addo, I guess not.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you're one of those people that says mallow.
Mallow. Mallow?
Marshmallow.
Oh
Mallow.
God, no.
Is that how it's spelled? No.
No.
Mellow.
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 But I think it is actually mallow.
Marshmallow.
Or
think it's
palo.
Palo.
Mallow.
Or people say palo.
Palo.
mallow?
I know people who say
Palo.
palo.
Like
Palo.
it's the same
Palo or
Palo.
milk.
Oh,
Milk.
yeah.
Palo.
Anyway,
Wow.
All right, are we doing another word?
Yeah, it's another word.
chugging down some soggy milk.
Ew.
Looking fresh, dressed in silk.
Mm. Yeah, go.
It's
Go
also
again.
hard. I don't have one. I'm
No. Okay.
I'm not usually of this ilk.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing synonyms?
Sure.
It's not really a synonym. Just gonna say.
Why is this so hard?
It's also a hard one. Milk is a hard one. Milk is a hard one.
We should have just stuck with can. My bad.
So keen to move on to the next. Jesus.
No, not tilt.
Milk, silk.
This has
Ilk.
gone from being a game just us trying to think of words that fucking rhyme.
And we're
with
doing
anything.
pure rhymes, not stretched rhymes, right?
Yeah, as pure as possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Milk, bilk, kilt.
No.
Kilk.
Because kilt's a stretch rhyme, I'd say.
I need to Google what
Gil.
rhymes
That's what I'm
with
doing right now.
Lilk.
Oh, there's not a lot.
Lilk.
One of them is corn milk. One of them is breast milk. One of them is cow milk, goat milk, non-milk,
That's not.
hind milk, fore milk,
Those
under
are
milk, over milk,
All
horse
milks.
milk, ant milk, buttermilk.
You could de-silk the non-silk.
There's not a lot.
What's bilk?
Bilk.
Bilk.
There's not a lot of rhymes.
You know what I really appreciate was Word Corner on Countdown. You learn so many good words. I
Yeah.
follow her on Instagram. It's great.
Susie Dent.
Yeah. Bilk, and for your information, bilk, obtain or withhold money from someone by deceit or without justification, cheat or defraud. Apparently, an apparently benevolent elderly gentleman bilked me of $20. I love that word.
Bilked. Well,
I ducked into the pantry, bilking Edward for the third time this week.
That sounds like
dirty.
something
That
else.
That's not a good term. Yeah.
bilked Edward in the
It
cupboard
says
there.
evade or elude. No.
And bilk was a band.
Were they?
An English indie rock trio formed in Chelmsford, Essex.
Sounds about right. Well,
Is that how that game is played? Or is that how that game is not played?
yeah, that's it's on microphone.
Yeah.
Caleb, zoom in on him when he did that.
Leader of the mind flip.
In our last session, you guys made your way back with Deep Seer Olengar. My brain's like short circuiting. I heard that come out as if I was having a stroke.
Olengar.
I heard the O and I was like, no. Alright. You guys, Olengar, you got seahorses. You swam back. You swam back to Fiona. You were told that these seahorses would be yours whenever you need them here in the lake. You sent a small contingent out to spy on Bokt, or at least what's happening on Bokt, and maybe Queen Banrin. As all that was happening, you then made your way back up onto the land. You bought some stuff from the apothecary. You bought some stuff from the Phoenix Forge, and Etterath Azorith got his cheeky little necklace back. Amulet. As you made your way to the council, realizing that a day had elapsed since you dove into the water. You stepped up to the top, and as you were stopped by the guards there, you heard a voice. Well, if it isn't Azorith Rosewall, I'll be fucked. And you look up and you see what seems to be a man in his kind of 50s. You can see he's got a big brush mustache. And it turns down a little bit. Real chiseled jawline, a little bit of stubble going, kind of these deep kind of brown eyes.
Dilf.
He's got a mop of like scraggly hair that comes into a bit of a mullet, but kind of shorter at the sides there. And you can see he's wearing a very sharp 3-piece suit. And he seems to have like a timepiece on his arm, a timepiece on his other arm, and almost what looks to be like a etching of a sundial where his like jacket pocket would be with a napkin, what do you call it? Handkerchief hanging out there.
Pocket square.
Pocket square. You see behind him appears to be another 5 or 6 humans stepping through. And this individual kind of nods at the guards and says, "Oh, they're all right. I know the young man. I haven't seen him since it was about this high. Come on in, folks. We were just leaving anyway, but how you doing? Spoken to your father?"
Would Azorith recognize this gentleman in his current state, or?
In his current state, yeah, he's kind of stayed the same his whole life. Indeed, of all the mages of 12 Point, of course, the Chronomancy Wizard is going to be the most consistent.
That's the most time last time.
Mr. Rift.
Oh, you can call me
Right,
Damien. You
yes.
haven't had to call me Mr. Riff in a
Sorry.
long time.
It's been a while. Apologies.
It has been a while. What are you doing here in Fiona?
Oh,
Fraternizing with the locals, I see. That's nice.
Hello.
Ah, there. Damien Rift. 12 Point.
Agenar-
Chronomancy Wing.
Ooh.
Oh, well, by wing, I mean, no offense.
No, that's okay.
Nice.
yeah, sorry. I've been sort of traveling with a group for the last little while. You know how assignments. And
Yeah, of course. I got an assignment of my own. On behalf of Queen Banrian, come speak to the council, get an update on things.
On behalf of,
Banrian, Severe in general.
well,
I think they're discussing the what we spoke about in the chambers back there.
I believe they stopped.
I believe they
no.
stopped. No, they're back.
Politics, you know.
Yeah.
Chat. Yeah.
Must have caused quite a
It's
storm.
like Dragon
with the-
Ball. It's the Dog King.
Yes. So, what are you doing here?
Just similar business from, not at liberty to say.
Of course. Keep it a secret. Probably best. Anything I can pass on to your father? Tell him I see you here?
No, he knows I'm on assignment and, never really communicate during.
Right. When the last time you've been back?
Been a few years now.
Right. Well, I'm staying down the road. If you fancy a bit of a drink or something like that, I'll be down at the Majestic Eagle's Perch.
How long are you in Fianna for?
Not at liberty to say, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Well, it's good to see you and your friends here.
Are you headed out?
Yeah, we just had a big old meeting with the head honchos up there. Still got a little bit of chatting back and forth to do, but we're figuring things out, and Neodrak being what it is, and whisperings of things happening, and Bakht, things like that.
Oh,
What's happening in Bakht?
oh, yes.
Well, a couple of ships heading that way to check things out, and apparently the dwarves are heading that way, and elves don't like that, so we're trying to help out where we can, keep the peace, as Severe is wont to do.
Of course.
course.
Right.
Can I make a insight check to see if Azorith is scared of this person?
Yeah, go for it. Deception or persuasion, Azorith, up to you. Aegis.
That was a natural 20. And it's in insight. It's plus 2, 22.
17.
Ooh. 17.
Oh.
What's Azorith feeling about Damien Rift here?
You would definitely see that, or hear maybe in his voice that it's a little bit shaky. I guess, yeah, since you have a 22, you would see that he's uncomfortable, and very nervous that he's seen someone from 12 points specifically, let alone Severe. And he kind of just wants, you get the sense that he just wants to leave right now, like leave the room.
Be sure to ask this young man about his childhood. He was quite the prodigy over in 12 Point. Tell your friends about your childhood, sort of thing.
No, sorry, you said your name was what? I'm Aegis.
Damien Rift.
Damien Rift.
Chronomancy Wing.
Chronomancy.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. What's that deal with?
Time?
Time?
Yeah.
As in, you tell the time very well? Or?
I can tell the time very well. You want to know what time it is?
Sure.
Time for you to get a watch.
How many times you said that one?
Too many. It's actually starting to get a bit boring. So
Yeah.
try to think of a better one than that.
Well, I don't think we
Ding
should
dong.
keep you waiting.
Who's there?
Father time.
Father Time who?
Why don't you go bother your father elsewhere? I don't know. So I should go with something. It didn't really work.
Yeah, we all got fathers, I
Yeah.
assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, see you at the bar later on? I'll buy you a drink.
Maybe.
Might even check in with your father. Give him an update on you.
Is it father time?
Is it Father Time? See?
Yeah.
Stop. Father Time. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Sorry, it's been a long day.
Yeah, he met a literal eel.
Wow. There's a lot of folk like that around here. Eels and fish and birds and turtles.
Have you seen this bird has hands?
Yeah, our corker, they have
I
hands.
mean, yes, we do. You're always surprised
You weren't
by
freaked
that.
out by that?
No. I'd be more freaked out if they didn't have hands.
Oh, well, right.
This is our friend Etterath.
All right.
Hi.
What's up?
Not a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you seem to not be wanting to hang out with me right now, and I get that. You're with your friends.
No, just
You don't want a friend of your father kind of checking in on you, keeping an eye on you. So why don't I leave you be, and hopefully we can run into each other a little later.
nice to run into you.
Nice to run into you too.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Kind of steps out. As he steps out, you feel yourself walking back up to the steps again, and him walking out. And you kind of discombobulated for a second. He said, "So told you I'd see you soon." Little chronomancy trick there. Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Good luck. Kind of walks down past you there.
And I go to the air that he just walked out of again and go, boo! I only did twice. Fuck.
That was...
The rest of the Safirian delegation kind of step down the steps past you. You can see there's 5 of them with Damien, so 4 plus Damien.
Did I recognize any of the other?
You would recognize them to be... proponents of some of the different towers. You would spot so you got Damien, you've got an evoker, you've got an illusionist, you've got a diviner, and you would have an abjurative mage as well.
Would I get the sense that they're like mages with other abilities, so to suggest that like they're maybe like a strike force, and that they're more of like
You've got
a
Damien
team that was
Rift,
tactically put
who's
together.
time. You've got a diviner who is kind of future and seeing. You've got an evoker who is power. You've got an abjurer who is protection, and you've got the illusionist who is kind of trickery.
Deception.
Yeah, it's a very good spread for almost any activity.
G'day, g'day, g'day. Top of the morning, g'day.
Great to bloody see you. Guys, it's me.
I've infiltrated.
Are we alone right now? Is there
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the
Everyone.
foyer. Yeah. You're in the
Anybody
foyer.
else
It
there?
looks like it should be like a marble kind of extravagant white marble foyer, but it's all made of timber, like highly polished and carved timber. The guards are at the front there. The mages have all stepped down, just giving you a once over, and then walked on out. And you can see that there's a walkway that leads in, a couple of sets of stairs that head out to the side. But from what you can tell, they came from straight down the middle, and you're kind of here in this open area that would be echoey where it's stone, but it kind of is porous and absorbs a lot of the sound. And there's no guards near you. There's a couple lining the walls about like 40 or so feet away from you, this huge kind of foyer area. You gather they might hold balls or dances here.
Gotcha.
Soirees.
Not just literally just...
I was thinking of like magic balls for some reason, like magic 8 balls. Is this a service you offer to everybody, or just?
I hold the balls, sir.
I am the royal ball holder.
There probably was one.
Azorith will kind of take a few steps forward and turn around and kind of in a whisper, well, I hope I don't have to explain this, but this changes things.
Right.
If Severe is here, then Queen Banrian's words are reaching the council.
Right. So, we should all be very careful about what information we share with the council. None of the telling everybody everything like we did with the dwarfs. And I think maybe the eel business we keep to ourselves. Perhaps.
Sure.
What do we bring to the council then?
Well,
I mean, we were supposed to meet with them when we first got here.
right.
Yeah, but what do we say when we meet with them? This is a whole different scenario now.
Well,
Is it? Is it really?
Well, yes, I think so.
In what way?
Well, that group you just saw are sent here probably directly by Queen Banrian's mouth herself. Direct orders.
And?
And I think we should tread very carefully with what we tell them.
you Force, you already didn't trust some people on the council.
Yep. I honestly, what are we trying to get from them? Forces to fight Safirith?
Well, I mean, we wanted assistance for Bokt.
So honestly,
we don't have to give them all the information, though.
but now they probably have a whole other perspective on what they think is happening in Bokt, and how do we
Right.
prove that Severe
Right.
is there for the wrong reasons, not the ones I'm sure that they told them.
Right, and
Here's the thing. Did you think that the council would be benevolent and just go and save Bokt and then leave it to its own devices? Probably not.
no.
This is kind of a bit of a free-for-all going on right now at Bokt. We may have inadvertently, by sending the dwarves and the elves, now interrupted Savidian plans pretty good. If we send these forces, the Fiainian forces as well, it's kind of going to be all for one and all for none. It's going to be whoever comes out on top takes the land.
It's gonna be another bloodbath.
Yeah. So, Sevire's going to stab Fiona in the back. Fiona knows this. Fiona's probably going to stab Severe in the back. I don't trust any of the leaders in power. So, I'm going to let you all take charge on this one. Because I'm going to have to deal with the church at some point. Arden's church. And,
Whom you just
Say what you want.
announced very publicly.
gods are everywhere. They hear you even if you don't announce it publicly.
Well, I more meant the other, mortals,
Oh,
who might talk to each other.
yeah.
I mean, we're also here potentially to still gain allies on our side, right?
What's
Well-
our side?
I don't know, helping the people of Bokt. There's all the innocent people who've been caught up in this power playing.
I think if we approach them under the...
I mean, we're also here to potentially go on a peace with Gale Village.
Right. Well,
Well, that's...
Mother Zinsa has appointed me as a kind of emissary, and, well, I know what I can ask for, which is that, there have been people hurt on Bokt,
Yes.
and, people need help, and the church can help with that. We're healers, and we help in times of trouble, so I can ask for more resources for the church. Access to food and blankets and those sorts of things.
So we are representatives of Bokt. We've seen what was happening
Right.
there, and we're appeasing to the council to help.
Right, to assist.
And
The
we know
people.
that Severe has sent ships and soldiers to Bokt, and
Right.
we'll ask what they plan to do about it, if anything. But in no way do we reveal Pierre Roop
No.
or the Bailman.
No.
Thinking pragmatically here. That's another word I had to think about. Does Queen Banrian know that you have, let's call it, turned your back on her?
Been on your post.
Because if you go into that room and say Severe or kicking shit up, well, guess what? Cat's out of the bag.
Well aware of that, and at this point I'm not entirely sure, since this thing wasn't working this whole time, so I have no idea if they know what they know, and I mean, council aside, that Damien is going to check in with my father one way or the other, so they're going to find out eventually.
So your father knows.
If he doesn't, he probably will, unless we do something about Damien and his team. Yeah.
My, you're getting forward.
No,
Rubbing off on you. I like the request aid.
Right.
Lead the charge.
Okay. Agnar's going to sort of puff up her feathers a little bit, a little ruffle, and then
Excellent.
march towards the
Larger opening.
doors.
Maybe go with her, Etterath.
Yep.
For Gale Village.
Fogel! As you head in
Wait, I thought no. Oh, okay.
Go on. You're all going?
Yeah, well,
Okay, good. As you head towards the...
Agnar just turns around and no one's following yet.
You got this.
She fully poof.
As you head towards the
Startle chicken.
larger opening, you can see that the entire inner kind of sanctum of this area is almost like gymnasium sized. The enormous flower over the top, you realize it is the roof. And you can kind of smell the pollen, smell the scent of it over the top of the roof there. And as you step on in, the first thing you notice is a huge loxodon kind of curled up in a chair, snoring.
Politics. The sounds of politics.
And having like a little dreams. You right, Beanie Bear? You can see a loxodon kind of in a huge chair, just kind of leaning. You see what looks to be a large, like a wooden post that kind of curls up, and you see what looks to be an enormous like shoebill Aarakocra up top there, kind of sitting. You would notice off to the side what looks to be a dragonborn, a Kenku, and a Yuan-Ti kind of sitting together, muttering and chatting. And as you step on in, you would see a Leonin with a scar. He's wearing what looks to be like remnants of old blackish armor, and you can see that he seems to have his hands clasped together, and he looks out and he says, "Well, hello there, welcome, listeners. My goodness, if it isn't bias,
Nope. Aegis.
Striding over to you, Callian Main steps forward. He's far taller than you, far broader, but as you step up to him, you guys watch as there's like a match of height and energy there as he steps up, and he looks at you, he puts his hands on his hips and he says, "Well, my, you've come a long way, haven't you?
Yeah.
Both figuratively and literally."
I have come a long way, but apparently ended up exactly where I started.
I got the answer. Well, I heard you got the answer to my question.
You want it now?
Whenever you're ready to share it, son.
Let's keep this one a secret.
All right.
I won't let the rest know.
Of course. Callian Main, pleased to meet you. I'm somewhat of a mentor of your friend Aegis here.
Right.
Callian Main of the Church of Orin. Please don't hold that against me. Before you have Grovek Stockmore, and the huge Loxodon kind of stretches and kind of cracks his neck a little bit. You've got Ilora Rainsong. You see the shoebill kind of land down on her long, kind of slender legs. You've got Sin. You've got Sashara. Shasara. I wrote these fucking names myself. And you've got Vranya as well, gesturing to the Dragonborn. We are the Fiainian Council. Welcome. What can we do for you, residents of Fiona?
Well, hello.
Sorry, I have to do the official part first. He knows I'm not this serious all the time. Yes.
Hi, I'm Agenar Urol.
Agenar Urol,
Of the Church of Briganti.
Right. Yes. I thought I recognized some of the garb there.
Right.
Grovek. And kind of Stockmore looks and kind of says, bloody. Says, give me a second. And starts to kind of trot on down. And kind of stands in front of you. And you can see as they stand around you, Stockmore's at the center, the tallest by far of all of them. Ilora Rainsong and Callian Main either side, and then the other three kind of a little bit off to one side, like there's a schism between them. Like you've got the three main ones and three slightly lesser ones. As they stand there, Stockmore looks and says, "Well, what can I do for you?"
Well, I come on behalf of the Temple of Brigantia, which is coming on behalf of the people of Bokt. I don't know how much news you've had of Bokt.
We've had some news. Tell us what you can share.
Right. Well, I was sent to Bokt to investigate the temple there, as we hadn't heard from the temple on Bokt for some time. And the temple there had been occupied by someone else, but we sent things right, and so then we left Bokt to come back here, and when we were leaving, we saw quite a fleet of ships coming to Bokt, and they did appear to be from Safirith, and I have some friends, I would say friends, on Bokt, and they've reported a sort of invasion of some kind, and that things are not well in Bokt, and people are hurt, and they've lost access to getting food, with the ports being under siege. So from the temple, from Brigantia, we are requesting aid resources to help the people. Anything we can do to help the citizens, blankets and food and healing potions, things like that. Right.
All in a preparation for invasion. Maybe some defensive stuff.
You got something to say? Just speak up. It's
No,
an
I'm
open
just-
forum.
I'm just here as a counsel.
Right.
My friend left out a few details of, I think, the gravity of this incursion. It's no secret that Bokt is a very resourceful place and has been fought over many times, correct? And its neutrality is... its neutrality is essential to the peace amongst Fianna, Safirith, Neodract, and respectively. And Safirith's incursion on Bokt is, well, I think I don't have to spell it out for you, very dangerous for the state of the world.
The beautiful shoe bill with kind of rings and jewelry and kind of piercings that you're not quite sure how they're pierced, kind of like through feather and like along the edges of her enormous kind of bill, kind of lifts one leg off the ground flamingo style and says, "This is consistent with what we know of severe invading. Aid is being sent. You need not worry.
Oh.
We made a pact, the continents, not to sail upon Bokt, lest we suffer the wrath of the others.
Right.
So rest assured that those that are heading to Bokt will receive swift punishment from our navy and other navies."
Right.
Can I insight check?
You can, yeah.
See if that is true. $16.
16. It seems like a pre-prepared response. You detect there might be some truth in it, but whether it seems more like a pre-cooked kind of "this is what we tell the public" kind of response. You look with that 16, you can see Stockmore's kind of shifting from foot to foot. Callian hasn't taken his eyes off Aegis. with like a little grin, a little toothy grin with a fang hanging out. Stockmore looks and says,
Your concern has been noted. Don't worry about that. We are doing our best to team up with some of the elven forces to make sure the dastardly dwarves and that the Safirian forces don't take over the poor continent of Bokt. Bokt is under the security of all of our agreements, so you need not worry.
Right.
But the fact that Mother Zinza has sent you to ask for aid is admirable, and the fact she sent an entourage with you is fantastic. We thank you for your work and your concern.
I'm sorry,
with
but
other nations.
Is Sevir's breach of this trust the abrupt invasion? They set foot on Bok. They slaughtered villagers.
Well, we have no evidence just yet that they've made it to land, but as soon as we get word back, we'll be sure to act upon it. You must know that these sorts of things are, these accusations are incredibly, we must be careful when throwing around these accusations, especially when heads of state and countries are involved.
and your mind flashes back to the photo of him and the elven leader and Banrian standing together in the museum.
King Aloysius.
Colm, Kim Colm.
I with greatest respect, we have been in communication with our friends on Bokt, and they have made landfall. Is that right? Yes. Safirian forces are on the ground, so that would be word.
Well, that's good news then, and we'll be sure to look into it. Alora.
She kind of nods and she says, "You must understand that the public aren't privy to everything. The council is doing its best to keep Fiona running. That is our priority.
Right.
We heard of an invasion of the temple of Briganti out in the Howling Ring. That is a prime concern of ours.
Right.
We have spared a fleet to head out to Bok to investigate that, but the
Right.
moment if trouble is striking closer to home, that's where our priority is." Stockmore's kind of huffing and puffing there.
Could I, looking at the council, the rest of the council members, during that, as obviously as Gorm got like heated up a bit, is there like a sense of like agreement amongst everyone, or is there one or two that are sort of looking at?
I'll say that's too difficult to tell. It's not like there's anyone being outwardly kind of yeah. Without talking to them, it's impossible to tell. You do know that the other three, Sin, Vranya, and Sashara, are a little bit off to the side. Callian Main is just kind of focused on Aegis, and Stockmore is kind of alternating between trying to be a good leader and then getting a little kind of huffy and puffy, and Ilora Rainsong having to kind of step in and take over.
Is anyone looking genuinely
Surprised?
not surprised, but like concerned? Like, is there a flash of actual compassion on any of their
Roll
faces?
an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah, nah. That would be just so we hear the number out. Oh, damn it. That's a 9.
9. Too hard to tell. The Dragon Ball and the Kenku and the Yuan Ti seem a little in their own kind of business. Alora Rainsong seems to have a school counselor's empathy. Like a school counselor's kind of like, I understand. Empathy. Stockmore is kind of
Stockmore says, we've also heard that there's been trouble out at Gale Village, so we'll have to send people out there. We've got Hawksworth complaining about invasions from unknown individuals. Things are going a big bird that's apparently the signs of the great geyser. And Alora kind of puts a hand on him and says, "There's a lot happening here in Fiona that we are trying to focus our attention on. I assure you, we are turning our eyes to Bokt, but our own safety here is also important."
Well, if it may ease some of the concern, we may have been the ones passing through Hawksworth.
As you say that, Callian Main laughs.
Slippery ones. Do you mind if I say something? Go ahead. These, you've obviously travelled from a long way, right? You're not from here. Oh, you are from here? Members of the council, please recognize someone from Gale Village.
And they all kind of look at you with this kind of appraisal of like, Callian Main kind of strides forward and says,
all are welcome here, as I'm sure you've seen in the city. If these individuals say something's wrong with Bokt, something's wrong with Bokt. I think we should send more than just a paltry amount of people there. I think some sort of strike team, just in case, should be sent. And are you volunteering some of your own Church of Orin? If that's what it takes, yes. We'll take a fleet down there, load up with a couple of clerics, make sure we're working hand in hand with Briganti.
Ooh.
We'll check the place out.
"Are you sure this is a good idea?"
I'm sure you guys could handle it here, right? A pesky invasion of Brigantia's church in the Howling Ring.
Hopefully, this strike team survives a little longer than the last strike team that you sent to Bokt.
This strike team has a leader that was lost to us for a moment but came back. She'll be fine. I'm sure you know.
I guess we all come back.
Evidently. Stop on by before she leaves. Say good day.
Well, that's very kind of you.
If Callian Main says it's so, then fine. It's so. But let it be known that I agreed. Quickly. Hastily. And if anything's avoided, you have me to thank.
Oh. I mean,
Of course, Grovek. Stockmore in front of the others.
Of course, Stockmore.
I mean, you seem to take great consideration, and I think that's a good quality, so, you know.
You know what? I do take great consideration. I think about things an awful lot before I make a decision.
Right.
So if this hasty decision leads to death, it's not on my back. You all forced me.
And kind of points to Callian Main and Ilora. Callian just throws up his hands like, okay, and Ilora kind of rolls her eyes a little bit.
If I may, sir.
Yes.
If you need another cool head to help you think, there's a young lady in Gale Village. Her name's Celia.
Oh, we've been through this before. Representatives from Gale Village. We get a representative from Hawksworth. We've got plenty here on the council, don't we?
I'm not saying as a full council member. Maybe just as a surrogate in the time, if Callian Main shall be gone. Good leaders know when they need a team behind them. Book's a little old-fashioned, but Celia's a good head.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion for me.
Good at those.
And yeah, please help me. I know.
Jesus Christ, this motherfucker.
I know that, but this might be a step on the good path.
Gonna, even though I said I wouldn't, do a little guidance.
Okay.
Little guidance.
That was a good choice.
I'm taking steps. 9.
9.
Well, we'll hear another word of Gale Bloody Village, okay? I'm done with them. I'm done with Book, the savage. I'm trying to run a respectable continent here.
Then how about you
Respectable
listen
city.
to the person that nearly tore it down?
Tore what down?
Gale Village.
Leans in.
You tore down Gale Village. Why?
Been a lot of NPC hits lately. I like it.
Can't say it was fully my fault, but bad things happen.
You're the reason Gale Village is in disarray.
Indirectly.
How did it happen?
Forces beyond our control are seeping into this world.
How did they react?
Dignified. They just wanted to rebuild what they lost. They wanted to be treated like people.
Vranya.
Dragonborn turns around. The Dragonborn turns around.
Says, yes. It's near your area. Send some help. Make sure they know the council approved it. Of course.
Kind of looks at him, turns back to you, and he says,
We'll send some help down that way. Let them know that the council's keeping an eye out for them. And if they show gratitude, perhaps I'll consider having a Celia come stop by. If they show gratitude.
All I ask.
Well, you have asked, you have received. You're welcome.
Grania? Maybe send... Do you have any people left?
this
After
is
all the ones that were left at,
Vranya.
yeah.
Gotcha, yeah.
After all the ones that were lost at the Temple Briganti and the Howling Ring recently?
Vranya kind of stops and looks at you. Kenku kind of rustles feathers a little bit. Sashara kind of freezes.
Oh, that's right. Some were yours as well.
Callie and Maine.
How many of them did we take down?
Don't know. Apparently we're causing all the shit on this island.
Yeah.
All right, yes. That was us too. But, obviously, Temple of Brigantia, so yes.
Yeah, you were rightful steward of that.
Right, well, yes. We restored it to its rightful hands.
As you say that, Stockmore kind of wheels around and says,
Blatantly accusing some of the council of having a hand in something so heinous. Where's your evidence?
No, I didn't accuse them of anything. I just said they lost people there.
Listen, I think it should be brought to their attention that they were digging tunnels under the temple for what reasons exactly? We're not really sure, but I think you should all be aware that that's stuff that's been happening. If we want to solve the Temple of Brigantia problem.
A few dozen dead, that's never good.
Sin goes, never good. And Vranya kind of turns, looks and says,
We will look into the involvement of lizard folk and your auntie.
looks at Stockmore. Stockmore kind of narrows his eyes, looks across at Ailora. Ailora looks across at Callie and Maine. Callie and Maine says,
Perhaps this is something that should be discussed immediately. What can you tell us about the makeup of what happened at the Temple of Briganti.
And you see Alora Rainsong is just kind of slowly swishing her way around one side of the trio of council members, and Callie Mains are being a little bit more broad about it. He's kind of stepping around the other side.
I think honesty is the best policy.
Well, okay. Well, you know, I mean, we don't know why the group of people who were there were there, but it was the occupiers of the temple were Yuan-Ti and lizard folk and Kenku.
You hear that? Yuan-Ti, lizard folk, and Kenku.
And they seemed to be digging a tunnel.
No, they weren't.
They were not digging a tunnel.
They were forcing the previous occupants to dig these tunnels
Right.
against their will.
Who are recovering in the Temple of Brigantia here in Lorna Cath. If you would like to have a word with them, I'm sure they'd happily explain in great detail what their captors were up to.
And Laura Rainsong says, "Small blessings. I'm glad everyone's okay."
Yes.
Well, not everyone quite.
Oh, right.
You know, some people did die there. There were clerics there who were too far gone when we arrived, so...
Stockmore kind of draws himself up to his full height and says,
Never have I ever. We're not playing the game. This is part of my
Oh,
sentence.
come on, make it good.
Never have I ever.
I'll drink. I'll not whiskey.
Never have I ever had members of my own council betray the trust of the council. I request immediately that those three council members are detained and questioned by you, Ilora.
and Aelora says, "Well, this is a pickle. This is unprecedented. Xen, Vranya, Sashara, have you anything to say for yourselves?" They stand there in an awkward kind of bundle together. Vranya kind of bows her head a little bit and says,
We would submit to any questioning you would have, but I think you will find that we have no involvement in this matter.
and lifts her head high. Xen says,
No involvement.
and the...
Like inside?
yeah, absolutely. The Yuan-Ti, Sashara, says,
I find it offensive that these accusations have come to us, but we will weather whatever questioning you have. And thank you, all strangers and townsfolk, for bringing this to our attention. We will be sure to clear things up. A few bad eggs doesn't mean the whole chicken's bad.
Well, right, that is true.
Close. Yes.
That was an 11.
11. Yeah, no luck there.
I wanted to do on Lockmore when he did the never have I
Stockmore.
ever- Stockmore.
You get the name right eventually.
Lockmore Ettergun is from something. What's that from? Anyway, 15 total.
15. On Stockmore?
Yeah. Oh, the Lies of Lamore. Good book.
Very blustery. It's hard to tell whether it's all for show or not. You gather a lot of it's for show. You wonder what he's like on behind closed doors, but with the people here, he's kind of behaving in a bit of a huffy puffy boisterous way.
Okay.
Ilora kind of bows her head, tilts her head to the side, and says, "If you'll accompany me into the inner chambers." And the three council members that have been accused are taken into a second chamber, as you're left here with kind of Stockmore and Callie and Main. Callie and Main following along, hands on his hips, kind of walking behind them, chest out. As they walk out the door, he turns around, he says,
That was a little bit fucking exciting, wasn't it? Well done. I thought with you renouncing Orin you would have become boring, but you're more electric than ever. And yes, we heard about that.
I'm not surprised. Don't get too friendly. And I'll hold up a note. That was the cryptic clue of don't trust the Loxodon and Callian.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I got my eye on the rest of yous as well.
What is that?
I'll just hand it over. This was
Hands
handed
it
to
up.
me in Gale Village.
Kind of reads it very quickly, and he looks and he says, "Well, I thought you would have learned by now to trust nobody, especially random notes handed out."
Exactly.
And Loxodon. Him?
I know.
What other Loxodon do you know? Hands it back to you with a grin. You should stop by, regardless of whether you've said goodbye to the Temple of Orin for good. Stop by and say hey. I'd hate for Piet or Hera to send someone after you.
I was going to say, do I get a safe passage?
From me, yes. I can't guarantee anyone else. You know what Odina's like.
Yes, don't we all?
It's a softer blow for me since I never really got to train you the way I would have liked to. Let me tell you, Odina, whatever's come for you so far pales in comparison to what Odina's cooking up. So maybe show up and soften the blow a wee bit.
If you can tell me one question, answer me one question.
I'll try.
Why did she fight so hard for me?
There are whisperings of champions of the gods that have been around for centuries. And then there's a passing of a torch, champion to champion. I think perhaps she saw a champion in you. And I confess, as did I, but to be the trainer of a champion is an incredible, incredible notch in your belt. She must have wanted that notch more than I did. I merely wanted an apprentice. And later, a contemporary. And eventually, a friend.
I'll swing by.
There's a good lad.
As I have discovered the answer to your annoying riddle. Choices. And we get to make our own.
Well, I'd be honored if you'd choose to stop by.
Let me rest first. Because we've had quite a day.
Probably a good idea. And you may not be with him now, but he's still with you.
Ugh, sanctimonious bullshit. You never believed that, did you?
From one champion to another, they're there.
They're there. That's true. Strong enough to give power, I guess. Fine, sure. They're stronger than me, I'll admit it. Those words were gross coming out of my mouth.
Stop on by when you can.
Okay. I'll come by in the morning.
He kind of pulls Stockmore away. As he pulls Stockmore away, you can hear Stockmore saying,
Bloody accusations of our people, of our place, representatives from Gale. What's the world coming to, right? Of course.
calm yourself down there, right? Take a seat. Why don't you hop in the hot tub or something?
Guys, do I really want to stir the pot? Are we good with what we've done so far?
I think we've done a lot
I
of...
have explosives on me.
I think we should go back to the temple now and we'll be safe in there from all that. We don't know what's about to happen.
Why do I want to keep poking the bit?
Azorith
poke the
strapped
Loxodon.
16 sticks of dynamite on me.
I really want to poke the Loxodon. Fine, I won't.
We should...
This is your people's council. I'm not.
Well, I mean...
You vote. You're right to.
Get ready to run.
How about... Give us a sec. Let us get a head start.
Stockmore.
Yeah, what can I do for you? What's going on?
Stockmore, my
Agnes,
dear.
heading
As
out,
you call
heading out, heading
Stockmore, Callie Main kind of looks at you and just kind of nods and just kind of walks away.
Stuck more, my dear boy.
We're gonna
I
try.
hope your heart wasn't too broken.
Well, I mean, your familiar tone aside, my heart remains with my people and my dear little brother.
And thus mine did too. And I'll just wave and walk out.
If that was a riddle, that's going to piss me off.
I knew he was too stupid to fucking get it. All right. We're good.
You guys step out. You step back out of the council. As you step back out of the council, you watch as another Loxodon comes walking up with his flame sword, and he's going to get it out of my way.
Damn it,
Kind
Caleb.
of stops out around and kind of stomps on in and says, "Growback!"
What is it?
And as they step on in, you guys step out. As you step out, you make your way back to the temple.
Brother.
His son.
Of,
His
we had
brother.
we had so much planned. As you guys head back to the Temple of Brigantia with the rest that you so desperately need, is there anything else you'd like to do today before you head back to the temple?
Can I pick up my armor and bullets?
Absolutely, yeah. You go pick up your armor and bullets. You now have studded leather armor with resistance to fire.
Huzzah!
As you head
16 or so.
18.
As you head back to the Temple of Brigantia, you're able to step on in, back inside. As you step back inside, you would see that Mother Zinza is still faffing about with everyone else there. And I hand it back to you guys to see what you would like to do.
Oh, that was.
Overall, I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, good job.
I think it.
Bravo.
It did.
You indicted three
Shadow,
council
bravo.
members.
Fuck.
And if those crimes constitute the council getting rid of those three, I think there's some room for Gale
There
Village.
might
on
be.
it.
It's not gonna get rid of them. Let's be honest.
I don't know, politics, they're all working behind each other's backs somehow. It's only a matter of time before we get tired of at least one of them.
Oh. Callian Maine was a lot nicer
Yeah,
than
it's
I
just-
was expecting.
Told you not to trust the note. He's the only one in this whole fucking city that actually makes sense.
So do you have issues with him?
No.
Right,
Other than
just
he's a champion of Arden.
right. Like an actual champion. Like a. You know.
He's one of the leaders of the church, so but yeah, I assume. The leader of life.
He's
The opposite of me.
Right, he's the leader of life. So when he was saying the other. Right. So you were in the other department, shall we
I
say?
was in the bad scary one, yes.
Right. But there's the option to be in the other one.
You get kind of chosen and specialized from a young age. You
Right.
have your mentor, your champion who kind of leads you through their own specific training.
Right.
And he doesn't share your sentiment on Orin?
Not outwardly, not that I've known or ever seen.
Well,
Do
I
you
mean,
think
if he's a champion of Orin, then, you know, it's the highest level of devotion.
Or the best liar ever.
Oh,
And you kind of have to believe everything that man says, when he sounds like that.
he mentioned the Loxodon. Was that your friend he'd mentioned?
With that, you'll see for the first time, I think, Aegis kind of isn't that forthcoming with the truth. And it'll just be like, yes, friend. Possibly my only one. And not to be a dick, but probably yourselves included.
right. Well,
Just telling the truth.
Tracks. I'm not surprised. Were you expecting my jaw to drop or something? What?
see, Agenar definitely looks like more than a bit hurt about like not being called a friend.
You're not eager to
Well,
see her?
No. If she's back there, no.
You're back here. Maybe circumstances.
I'm back here, but not there.
You don't
And
know.
not just geographically.
Yes, but you don't know what brought her back.
You left, why can't she?
well, I think she did leave.
Try harder.
You'll see Aegis is kind of like has his hammer upside down and is just like caressing, let's say, not fingering, caressing the tusk that's on the end of it.
And as Aegis fingers his tusk,
His conical shaped thing. It all comes back.
it's a cylinder.
Keep it intact. Keep it intact.
One cylinder.
You're kind of led to your rooms and you're able to kind of have some quiet time. As you rest down, begin your long rests. Is there anything you'd like to go over and do, speak about, before we have a nice snooze?
Well, what's the plan now? We check in with the council in
Well, we should
a few days, or
Think we need to watch our
Sure.
back.
Who should I talk? We should check in. With who? Arwen, perhaps,
could?
and see.
Oh,
Yes.
Maybe
And could let them know that
we've spoken to the council and
some help will be on the way.
some help, some sort of help, will be on the way.
You are going to the temple tomorrow?
yep. You probably shouldn't. You could if you wanted to come. Might be dangerous. Probably is dangerous. Can't get into your safety, but up to you.
Well, I can talk to Zinsa, and if I'm going as a representative of the Church of Brigantia, then they won't cross any lines.
I'd like to join if you don't mind. And with Aaron being very present around our journey, I think it might be useful.
Sure.
I'm
Did
gonna.
you want to go see a friend? I mean, your dad's friend.
Daddy's friend. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I
Go
have
get a drink.
We can go with you on that if you want.
that I should do alone. But if you want to be nearby, I wouldn't be opposed to it. If I decide.
I mean,
You're
or you
fine.
could just stay in the temple and stay safe in here. That's also an option. Maybe we should all just stay in the temple and not go anywhere.
Right, campaign over.
Before I go to bed, though, I'm going to spend some time with this. So if that's where...
Sorry, what?
amulet.
My
M&M's chew.
M&M's chew. My cylinder.
Bit of banana.
Swiss cheese.
So if there's anything... Is there anything else?
No.
Great.
That's all I gotta do.
No, well,
Maybe check in with... Maybe send a message to Celia as well.
and Celia as well. Do you want me to communicate with Celia as
Could
well?
let them know to play nice with the council so that...
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna do that the old-fashioned way with a letter, but yeah, might be a good idea
could do-
to expedite it.
both.
Yeah.
No, she might like a
Or send a
letter.
letter and you can send them, text. Give them a call.
Well,
What is this?
well, I mean,
200 years ago?
I'm
Pre-magic? Come on.
calling. So
Edition
may-
2? Come on.
Is it worse if it comes from a friend of a friend?
Yeah.
If a friend of a friend calls?
Get a friend to call.
Yeah.
Like, he's here, but he doesn't want to talk to you.
Hey, his phone's broken.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
you guys are taking a short rest and heading out. You're taking a long rest. What are you doing? What's the plan?
I'll go out in the morning. I'll go sit near a bar if he's going to go have a chat with Dusk Nightfall or whatever his name was. Dusk Nightfall is a great name.
Nightfall? Damien Rift?
Damien Rift. Dusk Nightfall.
Dusk is the name of a vampire in a campaign.
Amazing.
Damien Rift, yep.
Damien Rift.
I'll go sit in a bar
Rift.
next to you if you're going to do that. Otherwise, I'm bedding down and going to go see them in the morning at my church.
Well, what time is it now?
It would be like late afternoon, early evening.
Okay, so I'll definitely spend some time. I'll attune to the
Amulet.
But first, before I attune to it, I want to make sure it's in working order.
Oh.
Pearls!
So I'm going to use the pearls, the plural one with Pearl 2.0 in there too.
Okay.
Stoner boy.
Cast Identify.
Great, because he's here to help.
Oh, no, they take turns.
I can just talk to one for
They
now.
take turns.
Excellent. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Tell me how you cast your proof of your Tell me what you're doing.
Yeah. So and I'll put it on and, in the room, and then I'll take the pearl out and just kind of go into meditative state with the pearl clutched to the amulet.
You touch the pearl to the amulet, you start to go into meditative state. You hear,
I think you may have gotten the wrong pearl.
Oh shit!
Is that going to be a problem? I mean, I can still tell you what's going on with this one, but
I was hoping to check in with the other. Okay,
no, that's okay. No harm, no foul. But
I can check in with them anytime. While we're here, you can just. This?
You want to know if this amulet against proof of detection and location is working?
Yes, and not being.
It seems to be working.
In the proper direction.
It seems to be working outwards and inwards, protecting you from divination.
Well done.
Okay. Well, if I know the other pearl or other pearls, maybe you should just check in and make sure.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Don't tell them that I already told you that it's working.
Don't worry. I won't.
Okay.
All right.
Zoop. Get rid of that pearl. Pull out the other one.
Now?
It's up to you.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Left them on red.
Good to know.
And then, I guess I'll spend some time and attune to the proof against detection.
He's smiling and writing. Smiling and writing.
Did you leave your pearls with the man as well?
No.
Okay, it was just the amulet. Okay.
Excellent. You started tuning to that. If you're going out to see Damien Rift, those that are going out to see Damien Rift, that will be a short rest. So you're welcome to take a short rest, roll any hit die, renew any abilities. Those of you that aren't can begin a long rest.
I'm gonna call let's call Celia first.
Okay.
So casting, sending once. Great. Hello, Celia. It's Agenar. I'm messaging for Etterath. The council is sending help to Gale. Be as welcoming as you can.
Okay.
There may be seat. That's 25.
You hear back. Okay. Good to hear. Everything all right on your end? Things are going pretty well, but could definitely do with the extra hands. That's not a thing about your hands. Cut off.
And oh dear. She asked a question. Maybe you should send a letter and just explain why I couldn't answer the question because I had to talk to someone else.
Yep, I'll start working on
and
that
that
now.
it's not. Yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. Ayarwan. Right.
Hello, Earwyn. It's Agenar. How is everything going? There is help coming from
The council?
the council
Fianna?
on Fianna. And aid from the temple. Is Bucky okay?
Okay. A moment of silence. And then you hear... Help might be too late, but always welcome. Hurry if you can. If we're not unboxed, I think we're going to be taken to Severe. That's it. That's where we're going to leave our session.
We're too late. We're already too late.
Too late, but not too late.
Leader of the mind